So if you look at the Deep Learning Institute, what is mostly offered are 6 to 8 hour full day courses. These are taught instructor-led and both online self-paced as well. These courses run on what's called the DLI platform. This is an open edX-based platform that we have customized to allow learners to get access to real GPUs in the cloud, to run different lab experiments and develop applications, like I said, within these courses. And they're based on assessments built into the course that have an auto-grading functionality to them. And if the learners pass the assessments, then they get a unique certificate that has their name on it, and they can put these certificates on their LinkedIn, on their resume, and it's a really good career building exercise for the students. These courses, again, can be done instructor-led. These are taught by a certified instructor that's gone through a certification process with NVIDIA. Or again, they can be done completely self-paced, where all you need is a laptop and a reliable internet connection. And these courses and workshops cover really all areas of technology related to NVIDIA, from agentic AI to physical AI, generative AI and large language models. We also have accelerated computing courses where you're using CUDA to accelerate domain science types of algorithms that maybe don't have anything to do with AI, edge computing. So we have really a breadth of courses that, again, cover all these technologies. This is a look at the current instructor-led workshops. So we ran eight of these workshops on Sunday, sort of the day zero of GTC. I'm not sure if any of you guys were able to attend, but this is, again, sort of the catalog of instructor-led workshops, and you can see how we divide these workshops between Gen AI and LLM, deep learning and fundamentals of deep learning, and then some of the courses go into more specific application domains, data science, accelerated computing, and then also simulation and physical AI. So these are the workshops that are offered instructor-led. And what an instructor-led workshop typically looks like is you have a number of sort of modules within the day and a few breaks in between. Of course, the benefit of attending an instructor-led workshop is you get access to a certified instructor to ask questions and help you guide through the course. And this is an example course outline. So the fundamentals of deep learning is by far the most popular course in higher ed today. This is where a lot of instructors in academia start in terms of teaching workshops under the Deep Learning Institute. And really, students only need a basic background in Python programming to be pretty successful in this workshop. So they get hands-on to do some interesting things in terms of using pre-trained models and large language models, and then doing some inference type of things. And again, this is all running on real GPUs in the cloud on the back end. Educators using this course, they don't need to configure anything in their labs. It's all taken care of by NVIDIA. And we have some more advanced workshops in things like diffusion models. That's also a really popular course. Also, application development using large language models. So I'm not going to go into the details of these courses, but again, lots and lots of instructor-led workshops. And I'm kind of going through these offerings to let you know that through our educator programs, which I primarily manage, we enable faculty at universities to get access to these workshops and to get access to a ton of other content that I'll talk about in a second. So the DLI Ambassador Program, if you've ever heard of this, I'm going to start with this program. So we have two distinct programs, the Ambassador Program and the Teaching It Program. The Ambassador Program is a bit higher touch program for us. It starts with a instructor certification process. We call it instructor certification. It's really kind of a application-based vetting process. So an educator who is interested in getting certified to teach any one or more of those workshops would fill out an application. They would need to show us that they have some relevant technical background in the workshops they're seeking to get certified to teach. As part of the process, we'd give them access to that course. They would take it online as a student would take it, complete the assessments, and this process would culminate with an interview with a instructor on NVIDIA's side who has the expertise to certify other instructors in that particular workshop. And if we pass the interview, then you get access to teach that course effectively in any academic setting, and you could teach the course to students in your class or to other university students. You can bring these to academic conferences. We've seen these workshops being used as tutorials at conferences like supercomputing. Yeah, and so why would anyone want to go through this process? Well, it's first and foremost, I think the motivations are the content, right? So this is sort of cutting edge, world-class content coming from NVIDIA. Anytime a new workshop becomes available, it usually starts only as an instructor-led workshop, not a self-paced version. So in order to get access to the latest workshops, universities usually need to get certified to be able to teach it on their campus. There's some other motivating factors here. So some folks are motivated by the credential of being an instructor-led, being a certified instructor with NVIDIA. They get their own unique certificates that have their name on it. They put that on their LinkedIn. Sometimes it's a problem that is the only motivating factor, so they come in and they get their instructor certifications but never teach. So then they eventually sort of expire out of the program. Other perks to the program, so if you guys want to hold a workshop and cater the event, bring in some food and beverage to bring students in, we'll reimburse up to $500 for a workshop. We also reimburse for travel expenses if you want to teach at other universities or conferences. It's a pretty tight-knit community. So today we only have a little less than 1,000 ambassadors in the world, and we set up some networking opportunities with them. Anytime that we seek guidance or want to learn about academia and teaching and training, we go to our ambassadors first and foremost, and they help us develop content, develop certification exams that I'll talk about. Yeah, and so another benefit I'll mention, so again, this program is all free for use in academia. Some of our ambassadors have access to enterprise customers who are looking for training as well. So on a relatively small scale, our ambassadors can also teach workshops to enterprise, and they can effectively buy the workshop that they're certified to teach from us at a very good discount, and then they can resell that to their enterprise customers to turn a profit if they want to. Some additional benefits, we kind of have this frequent flyer type of program where the more workshops you're delivering, the more students that are getting certificates in the workshops, it starts to unlock additional benefits. Benefits include actual financial payments. Again, this motivates some more than others. But other things like access to GTC conference discounts, registration discounts, and yeah, so the ambassadors effectively start reaching these tiers. A lot of them are very proud of these tiers. We have a formal instructor directory, which is kind of the external validation that they have these credentials, and all of these extra things show up there as well. In terms of the eligibility, so we do require that ambassadors are faculty or full-time lecturers. We also certify those folks who are responsible for training at their HPC centers. But really, for the most part, we do get a lot of applications from students and PhD students, and we have to decline those for a number of different reasons. We just get way too many applications, and the faculty tend to stick around and actually do a lot more teaching over time. And again, there are technical qualifications for each workshop that they apply for, that we check against to determine if we think they'll be successful and even put them through the process at all. Oh, and then we ask that our ambassadors teach at least a couple of workshops every 12 months to stay active in the program. And today, again, I mentioned we have close to 1,000 ambassadors today at a number of different institutions across the world. Okay, so that's the ambassador program. The program that I recommend everybody get started with is the Teaching Kits program. This is a much easier access, lower touch program for us. And what this looks like is effectively a portal that educators access, and within this portal they can just download these very large packages of semester-long teaching materials. So pretty much everything I've talked about up until this point is pieces of content that's no longer than 6 to 8 hours. This is full semester level content that can be freely downloadable. These packages include typical teaching materials like lecture slides, lecture videos, Jupyter notebooks that have been built out in free Colab instances. Some of them have associated textbooks, Q&A type of problem sets. And so you can see that we have 7 teaching kits today, and these cover sort of these broad areas of technology within NVIDIA. And you can also see that we co-develop this content with other academics to really sort of bridge that gap between industry standard application-focused material with the theory and sort of the math behind some of these things that a lot of folks in academia do want to teach. So yeah, definitely check out the teaching kits. Another aspect of the kits is that we weave in the self-paced versions of the courses that I talked about earlier, and those courses also run on the DLI platform. So the 6 to 8 hour self-paced courses that offer the students assessments are sort of a subset of these teaching kits. So again, this is sort of where you want to start. And then again, within that, you get access to all different sorts of content. And you can see here at GTC this week, we're launching the newest teaching kit around OpenUSD for 3D graphics and simulation and physical AI. And I'll talk a little bit about that in more detail. And the next slides just sort of cover a little bit more into the types of content within each kit and sort of how the content is structured. We build these kits very modularly. So most educators are kind of coming in and picking and choosing which modules they want to introduce into their courses. Some are building their courses from scratch, completely based on these teaching kits. And some are just, again, coming in and just handpicking what they want to incorporate. It all comes under the non-commercial Creative Commons license, so you guys can freely modify this content as you see fit to fit into your courses. The deep learning teaching kit, this was the second kit that we built, and this was largely based on Jan LeCun's course at NYU. So this one goes pretty heavy into the theory and the math behind training deep neural networks. And the core content here makes a good complement to the DLI courses that run on the platform, again, that are very hands-on, very application-focused. Accelerated data science, we started this one about 4 years ago, and it's been through a couple of updates. Built this one with professors at Georgia Tech and Prairie View A&M, so this one's largely based on the Rapids open source framework for accelerating more traditional machine learning algorithms and all of the things that have to do with data science. So definitely check that one out if you're interested in that. We have a kit around edge AI and robotics. This one's based on our embedded systems platform, the Jetson Orin Nano. And we're in the process of doing a big update to this one that we're going to release in the fall. So yeah, we have also one around deep learning for science and engineering. So this is using the Physics Nemo platform. It's a physics ML-based platform for accelerating all types of things within science domains like computational fluid and biomedicine and all these, again, really sciencey things. Gen AI Teaching Kit, this one might be the one we're most proud of for a couple of reasons. This is the latest, before this week, this was the latest kit that we had developed. Built this one with a very motivated professor at Dartmouth, Sam Raymond, fantastic guy. And one of the unique things about this teaching kit is that not only does it include a number of those self-paced courses that provide the course certificates for students when they complete them, this one also prepares students for a much more involved, much larger certification exam that the DLI offers as well. And I'll talk about the certification exams in a second. But the exam prep is completely aligned with the content in this kit. And again, so we're announcing here today in this session for the first time the release of the OpenUSD teaching kit. OpenUSD has to do with 3D graphics and simulation. There's some fundamental aspects of physical AI in this one as well. And this one also aligns with the new OpenUSD certification exam as well. So again, you could be teaching students throughout the curriculum using these teaching kits, and in parallel be preparing them to take these certification exams, which are becoming more and more popular, again, with employers and making the students a lot more attractive out in industry. Okay, so this is the certification exams. So these are exams that are proctored online. This is the only thing that actually has a cost with any of these programs. Again, just because we're doing this through a third-party proctoring company called Certiverse, if you've heard of them. We have a number of certification exams, both at the associate level and the professional level. So with students, the associate exams are probably going to be a little more appropriate, but yeah, and we've been offering these exams for free here at GTC as well. So the NVIDIA training organization has been in the Signia Hilton Hotel. We used to be in the conference center, but the show has grown so much that we're in the hotel now, and today being the last day, I would assume that there's still probably some slots open, but yeah, you can just go in and try out an exam if you want for free. There's really nothing to lose. So if you haven't done that, I encourage you to stop by and check that out. So these are the magic links to these two programs. I encourage you guys to check out both of them. Again, teaching kits is the easiest way to get started. It's just a 5-minute application that you guys can fill out, and then I'll probably get to applications on Monday, approvals for those. I'll try to actually do them tomorrow as well, but we'll see. And then again, the ambassador program. That one, again, is a little more involved application there because we do ask for a really short resume-style documentation that shows that you have some of the background relevant to the workshops you want to get certified to teach. So. All right, and with that, I am going to turn it over to Professor Paul Nussbaum, who has been really a champion in using these programs, sort of a pioneer, especially with the new certification exams. But Paul is certified to teach a number of these workshops to his students, and he's going to talk a little bit about student feedback and how these programs have been a real success in your university. So
thanks so much, Joe. Appreciate it. All right, thank you very much. Well, thanks for coming out. I appreciate that. I did want to talk a little bit about how we offer these workshops to our students and how incredibly timely it is now to go ahead, especially students that are very, focused on their future careers. They're very, very nervous. Oh, you don't need that? Very good, thank you. They're very nervous about, future career prospects as undergraduate students and graduate students may be. So as a career-focused university, ECPI does really take quite a bit of time to make sure that we're preparing our students for a future workforce. We have an accelerated program, so no football teams, but very focused on just going ahead and graduating as quickly as you can. We have a very structured program that allows students to get through the curriculum very, very quickly in an accelerated way. And we have campuses mostly on the mid-Atlantic, but also in Florida and Texas. And in general, if talk about AI training, we feel that it's critical for our students to really be prepared for a workforce where they may be creating these AI solutions, or they may just be using those AI solutions. So in terms of our strategy, it's kind of a multi-faceted strategy. As you can see here, we have obviously academic programs in artificial intelligence and machine learning, but also hands-on certifications and workshops that Joe just mentioned, as our ongoing collaboration with NVIDIA has proved very, very fruitful in that regard. So we also have other activities in terms of interdisciplinary learning. I'll talk to you a little in a moment about how we work with our culinary students and kind of show them how artificial intelligence can impact their future careers. But we feel that AI is going to impact every future career, so that's kind of why we take a holistic approach. In terms of academic programs, we do have quite a few. Curriculum development is ongoing, obviously, but primarily in the computer science and where I teach electronics engineering technology. So these are really, once again, as I mentioned, ECPI University being career focused, a lot of these are AI courses, but also to prepare you to work in industry, in robotics and manufacturing, automation. These are things that, areas where a great deal of hiring is taking place, and we expect that to grow. We expect industrial automation to only grow in size as we kind of bring more of these facilities onshore, the big onshoring effort here in the United States. So I do offer the 8-hour workshops as an NVIDIA ambassador. That's one of the things that I do. And students have to take time out of their busy personal schedules to go above and beyond the coursework and sit in on one of these 8-hour workshops. And I tell you what, they sell out every time. I'm only allowed to offer the workshop to 20 attendees, but for every teaching assistant that I have working with me on that day, I can add another 20 attendees, and I regularly fill up 100 student capacity workshops, regularly. They're very attracted to the NVIDIA brand, and the same for myself. They know the NVIDIA brand from their gaming, perhaps, or just popularization of the NVIDIA accelerator boards for personal use. But they also respect the NVIDIA brand for its quality. And they know that if they earn a numbered and traceable certificate from NVIDIA, that it is something that carries some weight as part of their portfolio, resume, LinkedIn profile, etc. So that's why I enjoy being an ambassador delivering these NVIDIA content, because I know I'm going to get a quality workshop. I know I'm going to get a workshop where you cannot cheat to pass the assessment. I know I'm going to get a workshop that's going to be respected after the student earns that certificate. So very, very popular, and like I said, they're doing it on their spare time. They're taking these workshops outside of class hours. So I'm very, very excited about our wonderful ECPI University students, but I think you also can be that hero for them, and that's a bit of what I'm trying to share with you. It's really been a great benefit to my personal career advancement, but also for our students, just being able to be an ambassador. And I would encourage all of you to at least, think about going through that process and becoming an ambassador at your university. So in terms of workshop, I've personally taught over 1,000 students since 2022 going through these workshops. I predominantly offer the fundamentals of deep learning because it is a prerequisite for other more advanced workshops. Students know they have to pass that workshop before they can take one of the other more advanced workshops. And there they learn to build, train and test a variety of different pattern analysis, machine learning, generative models. So they're doing hands-on. I tell students this is not a lean back webinar that you attend for 8 hours. This is a lean forwards, hands-on. You've got to modify code, you've got to read code, you've got to train. The nice thing is you're driving a Ferrari. NVIDIA provides the GPUs, and boy is it nice and zippy. When you go home and try that on your laptop, it's a little bit slower to train the same models, isn't it? We basically offer a number of other ones that have been popular. Anomaly detection is very popular, especially with our cybersecurity students and the onset of zero-day attacks. It is focused on just munging through millions of lines of log files to find unusual or anomalous activity. So cybersecurity students really do like to attend that workshop. Predictive maintenance is being restructured right now. You can find more details on those websites that Mr. Bungo has pointed you to. It's right now it's being reworked into a larger scope, but that is very popular with our students interested in industrial automation. The diffusion model is just a great fun workshop. You know, how do I turn text into a picture? Right? I mean, people play with it online, but they're just that hungry curiosity that electronics engineering students, at least my students, they're just hungry to learn how does that work, right? So they love that one, but I know also those diffusion models are going to be very important for us in terms of motor torque control when we move into the physical AI. So I love teaching it because it shows them under the hood how these diffusion models work. And then the Jetson workshops are a little bit lighter. They don't require Python programming, but they do teach you how to train and collect the data to train a brand new neural network or using transfer learning to retrain it. So here you can see one of those Jetson workshops. They don't have to be electronics engineers. They can just be curious about AI, and you can see here the silly picture of me bending forwards. I've got kind of a crazy plaid Madras shirt on because what they're going to be doing is they'll be training a neural network to recognize thumbs up versus thumbs down, as well as a number of other exercises. And so they'll be collecting that data from different angles, right, different positions, and then I'll walk over and say, great, show me that workshop, but of course I'm wearing that crazy pattern shirt that they did not use in training, and we'll learn these fundamental aspects about the importance of the variation of the training data. So I really love the Ambassador program, and our students love it. They're making wonderful testimonials, telling me about in the early days how much they enjoyed taking the workshops, and then more importantly, more recent testimonials, how it's really impacted their careers, how they've been able to get into the master's degree program, how they've been promoted to lead AI development teams at their organizations because they have the numbered and traceable NVIDIA certificate that they've earned, and nobody else on the team had it, right? So they really love that. So we go also above and beyond. The certifications do require a sequence of workshops, so we're going to be introducing that coming forwards. We have we just launched a certification portal for our students. Allows them to more easily understand what the prerequisites are, how to prepare for certifications. And we're studying the NVIDIA teaching kits. As I said, ours is an accelerated program, so sometimes we just need to take slices from that teaching kits. But as I mentioned, these sort of things come together. We take our students who have passed these workshops, we pair them together with students who know nothing about artificial intelligence, and we talk about things like the chef's buddy that creates recipes and draws plating images running continuously in our electronics laboratory. So it lets the students kind of see how they might help someone else with their AI training. So don't forget interdisciplinary. I know we sometimes have a kind of a siloed version. We also offer AI competitions and industry collaboration, as many universities do. You're probably already familiar with that. But just in general, all of our curriculum at ECPI University is being weaved with AI, not just the ambassador program. We're also using AI even in our business degree. We need our students to play with it, have hands-on. ECPI is a career-focused university. We need our students to be ready to hit the ground running when they start in those careers. I personally will be focusing on agentic AI, and probably all of us will, won't we? And I just was credentialed to teach 2 more workshops building RAG agents using LLM and AI agent development using LLM. Great workshops. Looking forward to teaching them. But listen, I really thank you for your time. It's wonderful that you're here with us today, and hopefully I've gotten you interested and pumped. Just like you're excited to be here at the show, you can get your students excited to learn about these material, okay? All right, thank you so much.
You can say all the Q&A.
Oh, questions, very good, yeah.
Answer one more.
Huh? Oh, one more slide, I'm sorry. Yes, those websites, very important.
All right,
Yeah,
thank
questions.
you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Joe. Now we have time for a couple questions. I can come around and give the mic to anyone that has questions for Paul and Joe. All right, I'm gonna run ahead next.
Hi, thank you very much. This is a question for Paul. Regarding those 8-hour workshops that you have sort of included as part of your curricula.
So we're not part of the coursework.
Okay.
They're separate, yes.
Okay, so my question was really, do they have to do the assessment sort of in that same 8 hours, or do they allow to do it sort of whenever NVIDIA allows them to do so?
He'll explain it better.
So you can break these 6 to 8 hour workshops up into multiple days. So most folks, teaching those in the curriculum in the class meeting time is a very popular use case. And so in that case, you could just split the workshop into, say, 1.5 hour chunks or 1 hour chunks. We're really flexible in allowing that. You just have to make sure that the students stop their GPU instances before moving on to the next class, because sometimes they'll continue to run on the back end and burn up a lot of GPU time. But yeah, long story short, yes, we're very flexible in that aspect.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for the presentation.
Sure.
I'm Jackie from Hong Kong Polytechnic University. So we are very interested to introduce this program to our university. But I want to know more is because we find difficulty is how to integrate or embed this in the academic subjects.
The teaching kits are a great way to do that because they're already developed and you can pick and choose which modules you want to incorporate into your curriculum for a particular course.
Yes.
That's pretty much...
Yeah, for the most part, we leave it up to you guys to decide how you want to do it. So we provide, again, just lots and lots of material in a bunch of different formats. And for the most part, let you guys decide how you want to integrate it into your class.
Maybe can I share is in your case, you offer this as a co-curricular activities for 8
I
hours?
do. I say, if you're willing to attend on a Friday, where we normally our classes are Mondays to Thursdays, we say, earn a numbered and traceable certificate from NVIDIA in 8 hours. These people are very busy. They've got families, they love that. Do they all earn it? I've got about a 70% pass rate on many of these workshops, but they all learn and they all love it, even if they don't necessarily want to become a Python programmer.
Yes, I want to learn more about now if you want to start doing this. Maybe you can share, because you've gone through the process, what would be the major challenge, the first one. And the second one, for this, would you charge students, or this is additional resources, is paid by the department or somewhere else? Yeah. Thank you.
I just, my own time, I don't know, there's no fee to the students.
Yeah,
It's your personal contribution to this training.
Yes, it's it's a profession. It's part of my advancement of my profession. So
Once we want to scale up, we would like to mobilize our faculty members or other instructors to join it. So that's why we also have to experience in the management.
yeah, sometimes we give gift cards to the teaching assistants, but not me. No.
And that'll be after, so talk them off for sure.
Yeah, I can answer more questions.
And not let them leave.
Oh, thanks.
I had sort of a two-part question. The first is about the ambassador program. I'm a staff member at UT Austin, and I saw in the slide about the ambassador program, it specified faculty at universities. Is there the capability to become an ambassador as a staff member?
it is, especially if you are, as part of your job, training and teaching and running workshops. If that's the case, then yeah. The real requirement is a level of employment. So again, then from there we would sort of look at what you're doing on a daily basis, and do we think that you're going to be teaching and have the opportunity to teach workshops and have access to the audiences and all of that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, thank you. And I forgot the second question, so I think that's good.
Okay.
Catch them after. They'll be right in the back. Last one, and then we really do have to close it. Meet them in the back, though.
Hello, I'm coming from Dominican Republic. I'm the CEO of an innovation lab. We're working in AI and robotics, and I'm assessoring two of the main universities, the biggest university, elite university of United States, and Dominican Republic. So the idea, I have built with them a minor. We minor in AI and emerging technologies applied to every career. So the lawyer will be out with a minor with AI applied to the lawyer, the professional, the doctor, and everyone. This is one more semester at the end of all the program. We are ready to launch. Even the Saturday we will be launching that program in the Dominican Republic. So I'd like to see if it's any way to collaborate, because you have a road done, and maybe NVIDIA with us. I have contact with the principal of the both universities, so it will be very easy to me to incorporate all of this to that programs.